This is Mrs. O'Neill for AP Chemistry, Chapter 3, Section 3, Formula Weights. Your objective in this section is to calculate quantitative information from chemical formulas by using their formula weights or formula masses. So pause the video, fill in the blanks, and then play to hear my words. Remember that formula or molecular weights are also called molar mass. A lot of times that's what I'm going to say is molar mass. You might also see molecular mass. You might also see formula mass. It all means the same thing. It's basically the mass of your substance, whether it's an element or a compound. We want to remember that our units are grams per mole and that we're going to be able to use grams per mole, these formula masses, in a conversion. And on the yellow periodic table that I gave you as a reference sheet, that's exactly the same reference sheet periodic table you're going to see on the AP exam. Use all those numbers that they give you for the masses. Don't round, don't do that. Use all of those decimals they give you. So let's try some practice problems. I suggest, again, pause the video, see if you can come up with the answers, and then play the video to get them. Again, pause the video, check your work. Hopefully you named them as well, the compounds. Number 5 might have been tricky. We don't usually talk about hydrates, but calcium sulfate dihydrate, that di comes from the fact that there's 2 waters. So again, if you're having issues or trouble with these, please let me know in class or when we're doing the book work. Notice I use grams per mole most of the time, but you also might see AMUs. Percent composition. We want to remember that a percent is nothing more than part over a whole. So if we're talking about the percent composition of an element, of a particular element or a particular component of a compound, we're going to take the mass of that element, however much there is, over the mass of the entire compound. So percent composition is basically part over the whole, but in chemistry, since we're dealing with compounds, we always have to deal with their masses. And don't forget to multiply by 100. So again, let's look at these practice problems. So can you count the percent composition in the following compound? So it's asking you to find the percent composition of the magnesium in this compound and the percent composition of the phosphorus in this compound. So pause the video and see if you can come with the numbers. So here's the percent for magnesium. So I took the mass of 3 magnesiums, which came to 72.93, and I took the mass of the whole compound of magnesium phosphide divided times 100 to get the 54.05%. Now the shortcut way would take 100 minus that to give you the phosphorus percent. But to do it correctly, you probably should at least do it all the way through, because how about if your 54 for whatever reason is wrong, your 54%. But we always want to remember that our percentage, especially because we're dealing with masses and we're rounding, that it could be anywhere between 99 and 101%, just because we're dealing with decimals. Okay, try number 2. This time is just asking you the percent of the water, and so now there's 2 of them, the percent of the water in the whole compound. So as a hint, right, 2 waters over the mass of the whole hydrate. You should have gotten that is your equation. Those are your numbers. And that's your answer. So in this hydrate, there's 20.92% water molecules in the whole compound hydrate. Okay, see you in class.